Welcome back to another episode of Hoot and Poop. So I hope you guys have watched my last Wednesday's video where I talk about the latest news and updates on Arqit. So in today's video, okay, I actually have more or less kind of covered the whole spectrum of Arqit. So today's video is more of like, what should we look out for as investor so that, we can monitor the growth to see whether Arqit is a good investment for us to buy. Okay, I mean, short-term wise, like I said, right, don't be bothered by the movement of the price because it doesn't really matter. And Arqit, having said that, it's still a spec. It's super volatile. But volatility is good, right? For those who knows option, it's kind of good for you to deploy some sell puts to get some premium at the same time, purchasing it way below your valuation. So this is how I look at volatility. Long-term wise, of course, whether or not if Arqit is a good business, is a scam business, we do not know. We need to monitor their progress, and this is what I will be bringing to you in today's video. Okay, so now let's move on. Okay, now these are the 5 key areas that I will be monitoring for Arqit moving forward. Okay, so what are the areas? The first is the 2021 revenue. So in their spec presentation, they mentioned that 2021 they expect their revenues to be 14 million. So this is the first milestone that I have to, they have to clear, because if they don't clear, this just shows their credibility. To me, it's a little bit a bit off. This is the part that I have to make sure that they can hit it. If they can exceed it, then that's good, but this is the minimum guideline yardstick that I want to have. Now the second thing that I want to look at is the FQS. So in their presentations, okay, they actually mentioned, or rather David William has mentioned that UK is on board for their FQS, and also 6 other nations they are looking at it. And he also said that basically no one have turned Arqit down after hearing what they can do. So if whatever he says is true, if we link up the dots, right, they should have UK and 6 other nations on board. Okay, this is based on the news that I have talked about. So just go back and refer to all my previous videos. Now, the third thing I want to look at is the development in terms of quantum computing. So if I have mentioned before, with the rise in quantum computing, okay, the current encryption's security may not be that reliable anymore. Okay, so with that, with the rise of quantum computing and the drop in encryptions, there is a need for a new type of encryption, which is way better for quantum computing, and therefore quantum encryption is the new thing that we have to look into it. Okay, now the fourth thing is the launch of 2 satellites. Okay, that's by 2023 by Virgin Galactic or Virgin Orbit. I can't remember the name, but basically it's just by Virgin. So this is something that I have to look at it. It's 2023. It's probably 2 years down the road. Okay, and the last part is as I mentioned, Arqit actually they said that they are patent, or rather, currently quantum encryption, the greatest hindrance is how do they reach a global range. But Arqit, okay, having the patent, the required patent, they are able to reach a global range. So this is something that I want to monitor, how reliable it is, and whether or not is it bullshitting us or what. We do not know. We have to look into it. Now, then the next question is probably you guys may ask, how do I see, how do I know of these things? Now, I don't really have a straightforward answer for you. So what I do is basically I'll just read around. There are a lot of tons of websites to talk about quantum computing. So yeah, this is something that I will read. If I'm not wrong, there's this website called the Quantum Daily. I will look for the link and I'll paste it in the description below so that you guys can take a look as well. So this is something that I will look at it to keep up with the updated news. Okay, now, and the last part of all is I don't really look at charts, but yeah, I just want to show you the charts for anybody who's interested in it. Now, based on this, because it's a spec, so whatever it's here, it's around $10. So that's nothing much. But after the specs has announced, they've changed the ticker symbol and so on, the whole thing will just run and fly. Okay, so looking at the chart by itself, I personally think that 15, the range around $15 around here, 15 to 14 range is actually a very good support level. Why is it so? Because first, when the chart hits here, there are a few couple of bounces, right? You can see you have like 1, 2, 3, 4 bounces. This one somewhat also 14, 15 range. So yeah, somewhat here before a breakout happens to the resistance. So this was the resistance back then. Now, a resistance is many of times always turned to a support level. This is from a technical point of view. So it shoots all the way up here, okay, and it comes all the way down. Yep, and it starts to bounce around here. Yep. So perhaps around here may be a temporary support level or whatsoever, but it's not that important anymore. Then after that, it breaks down and it breaks the previous support, okay, and therefore it became a resistance. As you can see, there are a few bounces, 1, 2, 3, 4. But after 4 bounces and finally a breakthrough again, and it went up. All right, after that it came down the lows here, so it starts to bounce and hover around here. So looking at the chart, all right, basically $15 seems to be more of a support for this whole thing. So that's just my take on it. But however, I'm not really that into technical. I usually just use technicals to do some small little options trade. But other than that, my base so-called valuations is still the most important key for me. Okay, so with that, I have come to the end of today's video. Now, moving forward, I actually have a little bit of headache onto what should I talk about. I'm not sure, what should I be bringing up to the table. So let's see if I could brainstorm and come out anything. Perhaps, next week I will talk a little bit about ClearPoint Neuro. Because since that's also another company that I'm looking into it, I'm also invested in ClearPoint Neuro. Yeah, I'll see how it goes. Or perhaps I just continue my learning series. So yeah. Nevertheless, all right, if you guys want anything for me to share, please comment below. I will take a look at it. And of course, I really appreciate a like and subscribe to my channel so that it can reach out to many other people and to support me since I just started this journey. Okay, I'm grateful and I hope my video helps you guys in some ways, and see you in the next video. Invest safe.